Hey guys, it's time for another spooky video, and before I get started, I just wanted to let you guys know, if you were curious about where I was last Saturday, it is because I did a collab with my friend Sabrina here on YouTube on her channel. So I just left that for my spooky video for the week because I've been really busy filming Halloween videos for you guys. And I want to thank you so much for getting me to 530 subscribers. As of right now, that's where we're at, and I could not be happier. I love you guys so much, and I can't thank you enough for sticking around and actually wanting to watch my videos and support me. Like, it honestly means the world to me, so thank you so much. But yeah, if you have not checked out our collab, go over to her channel and do that. It's really creepy. We talked about shadow people on there, and on her channel she does a lot of creepy videos as well. So if you like my content, you're gonna love hers. So,
and I also want to mention that you guys can't see, I'm actually going blind. I think I have it on too bright. Maybe right there. No, that made it worse. Okay.
If you guys can't tell, I got a new light. It's actually a desk lamp, which is kind of funny, but it's LED and it's working really well. Like, I checked out what it looks like, and it looks so much better than the lamp that I was using before, because actually before I got this lamp, I was using an actual lamp with the shade off, and the lighting was horrible. Like, it was like bright yellow. It just was not good, and I'm like in love with the way that this looks right now. I might make myself go blind, but it's all for you guys, and I really like the way that it looks. So as you guys probably know by now, there was a solar eclipse at the very beginning of this week, and it was really awesome. But I also heard that a lot of creepy things were said to happen after a solar eclipse. So I decided that I was going to talk about a few of those creepy things, and I also have been experiencing some weird stuff lately after the solar eclipse, so I thought I would talk about those few little things. So if you guys are wondering, before I go anywhere in this video, what a solar eclipse is, which I'm sure most of you know by now, but I'll put the info out there just in case you're not sure. And it says, a solar eclipse is a type of eclipse that occurs when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, and when the moon fully or partially blocks the sun. This can happen only at new moon, when the sun and the moon are in conjunction, as seen from earth in an alignment referred to as
I can't read. Of course there's a word I can't read.
In a total eclipse, the disk of the sun is fully obscured by the moon, and only part of the sun is obscured. So that's what the description of it is. So basically the moon just passes in front of the sun. Like, in different places, sometimes it'll get like full on dark. Sometimes it'll be like a little light, like it was here. Like, we did get to see the eclipse, but there was still a little part of the sun that was still shining. So it wasn't like full on dark here. I wish that it would have been, because that would have been really cool to see. But it was kind of strange because actually here when it happened, it kind of got this look outside, like pinkish looking, kind of like what it would look like when it's getting closer to dawn and nighttime. That's what it did here. And when the moon completely went over top of the sun, like, all these birds were chirping before, and like after that the birds just like stopped. It wasn't like completely silent, like there were some cars and stuff. You couldn't really hear any birds chirping at all, and it was mainly like nighttime bugs. So I thought that that was interesting and kind of cool. I don't know, I've just always found stuff like this to be neat. So before I get into my experiences after the solar eclipse, I thought I would talk a little bit about what's supposed to happen after we have one. For as long as they have been around, they have been known to be a bad omen of things to come. So in China, in 2137 BC, the people got scared, believing that the dragon was trying to devour the sun whenever an eclipse would occur. They banged drums and they shot arrows trying to chase it away. And also, I hate getting into this on my channel because I don't really like sharing my personal beliefs with people, but you guys are my friends and I love you and I don't mind sharing different things with you. I'm not a very religious person, however I did grow up in church and I do believe in God and I do pray every day. However, I'm not like super religious or anything. However, I do remember whenever I went to church that in the Bible they would talk about, you know, like the end of the world and the apocalypse and all that other stuff. And so apparently when Jesus was crucified, there was an eclipse. If you read this Bible verse from Luke 23, from 44 to 45, it says, "There was a darkness over all the earth, and the sun was darkened." So that kind of makes you wonder. I don't know like full on about this, but I also heard something about that Jesus was actually 33 years old when he was crucified on the cross, and somehow they added it up so that this eclipse happened 33 years from that. I don't know how true that is because, like I said, I don't know anything about it. I didn't really research anything on that. It was kind of creepy, and I do believe that, you know, one day the world will end. However, I don't know when. I'm not saying that, you know, I can predict the future and I know what's going to happen, because obviously I can't. None of us can. I do believe that one day it will end. I don't know if this is like the right time. In 1133 AD, the day King Henry I left England, there was a total eclipse. And he later died in France. So that's another reason why a lot of people associate solar eclipses with bad things to come. So there's also a lot of other things that eclipses are supposed to bring about. I've heard stuff about pregnant women. I've heard women in general cannot go outside during an eclipse, and I myself am a woman and I went out during the eclipse and I'm alive, so I don't believe that superstition. I've also heard that if you had babies born on the eclipse, that they would turn into demons or that mice would eat them or something like that, and obviously that's not true because people had babies on the day that the eclipse happened and their babies are perfectly normal and fine. So you can't believe everything that you hear. You just kind of have to go with your gut instinct. Since the 2017 solar eclipse, there were a few weird things that were supposed to happen. And one was in South Carolina, and I don't know like details about it, but I did want to mention it a little bit. A mythical creature called the Lizard Man, and he was supposed to come about after the eclipse had occurred. And you know, I'm a very open-minded person when it comes to mythical creatures, I believe, and just like paranormal, supernatural stuff in general. And I've never been to South Carolina, so I don't know if there is a such thing there as a lizard man. If you're from South Carolina or you know someone who is and they have experienced anything with a lizard man, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know. I'd love to know. But I do believe in like the Mothman. Bigfoot, I'm kind of like iffy about, but I do believe in certain mythical creatures, and I do believe that they are put there for a purpose when they are there. I've also heard certain things like other dimensions, like when we have a solar eclipse, that this will kind of help other portals of other dimensions open up, and then different creatures and stuff from those different dimensions can step over into our world, and that could be another reason why there was supposed to be like a lizard man in South Carolina. Then another weird thing that was supposed to happen was in Kentucky. And in Kentucky, they believed that extraterrestrial beings were supposed to come about after the 2017 solar eclipse. So I don't know how true that is. Kentucky's really close to home. I live in West Virginia. There's been a lot of alien reports, like UFO sightings and stuff like that in West Virginia that I've heard about. However, I don't know about anything around our area like Ohio and Kentucky and places like that. So if you live in Kentucky and you've heard about this rumor, feel free to let me know. If you've seen or heard anything that was unusual, feel free to let me know. I've heard that, and I actually can kind of believe that because one of my experiences has to do with aliens. My best friends are going to be freaking out whenever they watch this video because some weird things have been going on with them as well.
And this lamp is like blinding me right now. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna like turn it to the side. I wonder if you can still see me if I turn it like that. I don't know. I'll stop it for you guys.
That I was really excited about the solar eclipse. I know a lot of people were getting annoyed because everyone was talking about like the glasses and just like the solar eclipse in general, and it was getting annoying to some people. But I was really excited for it. Like, I was hearing about this solar eclipse for months ahead of time, and I'm like completely obsessed with outer space and planets and the stars and all that other stuff, the moon. Like, I love all that stuff. And I didn't know that you had to have the special glasses for it, which is kind of bad on my part, until like a couple of days before it. And so I didn't actually get to get any of the solar eclipse glasses, which I was kind of disappointed about. But me and my dad actually viewed the solar eclipse with welding masks, and believe it or not, it's actually dark enough to where you can watch it without hurting your eyes, like I'm probably doing right now with this lamp, because it's blinding my eyeballs.
Like I'm probably doing right now with this lamp, because it's blinding my eyeballs.
On the day of the eclipse, my dad said that he had just woken up and he was laying in bed awake for a little while, like a couple minutes. And my dad's also into like the Wiccan religion. I feel like I've mentioned that before on my channel. He's into like the paranormal and all that kind of stuff. And so he has a crystal ball sitting on his little dresser. And he has like his own little space there where he has all of his little knickknacks and all that. So he's up and he's just staring into his crystal ball. He said he was very relaxed at this point in time. And he said that he's seen a woman. And he said she was kind of transparent, like he could kind of see the wall. He could also see her, if that makes any sense. And he said she was wearing a long white dress. She had brownish blonde hair, almost like mine. She was holding up one of her hands like this, and her other arm was down by her side. And she was just standing like this, and then she disappeared. And he has no idea, like, why he saw that person. And this was the morning of the eclipse, like, right before it happened. So he didn't know if she was trying to tell him something, or, like, what it could be a sign of. But I thought it was really interesting. So if you guys know, like, what that might mean, like, if you see a spirit and they're doing this, like, what that might mean, feel free to let me know, because we're honestly kind of clueless as to what that could mean. So then later on in the day, me and my dad were outside enjoying the eclipse, and all of a sudden I just got this really weird feeling. And once again, I want to state that I'm not claiming that I know when the end of the world is going to be. I don't. None of us do. We're human. I don't want to know when. It does scare me. It's like one of the most scariest things to me. I've told you guys this multiple times on my channel. Probably about like 1,000,000 times. But I have been told that I'm very spiritually gifted. And I get psychic feelings sometimes about certain things. Like I'll get like gut instincts. Like very strong gut instincts about stuff. I won't know at that point in time that's a psychic feeling. I'll just think that maybe I'm worrying about something, or, you know, I'm just overthinking it. But most of the time it turns out to be true. And I just had this strong feeling come over me. And it was just like the word doomsday popped into my head out of nowhere. And it didn't really feel like just a worrisome feeling. I know you guys are probably like, well, you probably heard that from several people, because several people were talking about the end of the world and doomsday and this and that. Me and my dad were actually discussing it before the solar eclipse, but I don't think that it had anything to do with that, because I wasn't thinking about it. I was just enjoying the solar eclipse, and then all of a sudden this feeling came upon me out of nowhere. And I'm not saying that I think that the world is going to end tomorrow. I mean, we never really know, it could, but I'm not saying that it is just because I had that feeling. But I do believe it was a feeling trying to tell me something, and I don't know whether it may have been linked to the lady that my dad saw in his crystal ball, or if it was something different, but it really did freak me out. I'm going to be honest, it scared me. Like I said, the end of the world is probably one of the only things that can truly scare me and put the fear of God into me. So then this is where the alien part comes in. About a day after the eclipse.
Sorry if you hear my cat snoring, by the way, because my cat's in here and she snores really loud, so if you hear that, I'm sorry.
But a day after the eclipse, my parents went to work and they came back home and they were telling me about how when they were outside, like taking out the trash, because my parents are janitors.
They clean buildings for a living.
When they were outside, they seen this white little ball of light, and it was in the sky, and it was kind of like hovering low to the ground. And I know what you guys are thinking. Well, it was probably a star or an airplane, but they said that it was not blinking. It was just staying still in one spot. And had it been like a planet or a star or an airplane, it probably would have blinked. And they said it was too big to be a planet anyway, so I don't think that it was a planet. But they found that really strange. And I'm not saying it was a UFO, but they kind of believe that that is what it could have been. That's kind of strange because my best friend did have an experience yesterday on her Facebook page, and I'm not going to go into that, but it does involve aliens because she is going to be making a video about that. So I'll leave her and Sabrina's channels in the description box below, and you guys can go check it out. I don't know when she's going to be posting it, but I know that she's supposed to be making a video on it. So, but yeah, those were the experiences that we had. I really wanted to get this out there and see what you guys think. So yeah, let me know if anything weird has happened to you since the solar eclipse. Tell me what you think of these experiences, what they could have been, what they could have been meaning. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become a morbid maniac. And I will see you guys in the next video.